This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Do you like chocolate and coffee? Well, if you do, you're going to love this espresso chip ice cream. Now, first we have to get 2 cups of 2% milk in a medium saucepan on medium heat. And we're going to bring that to boil, but that takes about 12 to 13 minutes. So while that's heating, we can get our eggs ready. And we've got to separate 5 eggs because we need to end up with 5 egg yolks. So what I do when I separate eggs is I take and I separate the egg over one little bowl. And then I take the yolk, put it in a separate bowl, and then the egg white in another bowl. Now all we need are the 5 egg yolks. So your milk is probably still heating, so we can take those 5 egg yolks, put them in our mixer, and using the whisk attachment, get those kind of beaten up. And then we're going to get a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm just going to kind of slowly sprinkle that into the eggs so that it can start to dissolve. And then once all the sugar is in, I'm going to let this beat for 2 minutes. Now, while the eggs are beating, your milk was going to be starting to come up to temperature, and you're going to notice it's going to start getting a lot more steam coming off of it. And then pretty soon, it's going to get this skim, and you're going to start to see movement underneath it. That's bringing it to a boil, and that's as far as we want to go with it. Then you're going to take it off the heat, and you're going to slowly, and I mean just a tablespoon or so at a time, start dribbling that into the eggs. Now, what we're doing is we're tempering the eggs here, and if we were to put too much of that hot liquid in at once, it would start to cook and scramble the eggs, which we don't want. So take your time with this, just slowly get that milk into those eggs. Now, once you have all the milk in with the eggs, we're going to shut the mixer off, put the saucepan back on the heat, but put it on medium-low, and then pour that mixture straight away in there. Then get a heat-resistant spatula, and you're going to want to start stirring this. Now, we need to bring this mixture up to 170 degrees, so that's why an instant read thermometer really works great at this point. So what's happening now is we're cooking the eggs slowly, but we don't want to cook them too fast. So once we get it up to 170, then we know that these eggs are cooked through enough and that it's safe to go ahead and make the ice cream with them. So what I do is I turn the heat off, and then I make a little contraption with a strainer and a large measuring cup. And then we want to go ahead and strain this mixture through the strainer. And the reason we want to do that is sometimes some of the egg whites kind of stay with the egg and they start to cook, and we wouldn't want that in the ice cream. So then just take the measuring cup and let this sit on the counter for about a 1/2 hour. It's got to get more lukewarm before we can put it in the fridge. And then after about 30 minutes, it's just warm now, which is okay. We cover it with some plastic wrap, and then we put this in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 hours so it gets completely chilled down. Now it's time to start putting our flavorings in our custard. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some vanilla. And I want to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we want to add some espresso, cold espresso coffee. And I'm using a 1/2 cup. And then we just want to stir that up. Now, if you don't have cold espresso coffee, you can make it with espresso powder, and that works fine. Now, we're not going to put our semi-sweet chocolate in yet. We put that in towards the end, but we can go ahead and get our ice cream maker set up. So we just get our chilled bowl and put that on, get the dasher on, and then go ahead and put the top on. And then we want to get this to start moving. And then we just go ahead and pour the ice cream right through the top. Now you can see this is why I like to use one of these large measuring cups, because you've got to negotiate it through that center hole, and it works out pretty nicely. Now this is going to just churn now for about 20 minutes, and you're going to find it's just going to get thicker and thicker, and then towards the end of the 20 minutes it's going to get real thick, and so then we want to go ahead and put in 1 cup of our semi-sweet chocolate chips. And this is just going to take like a minute or two to get all mixed together. Now at this point, the ice cream is almost like at a soft serve consistency, and you can't really scoop it yet. So what we need to do is harden it off. So I just get a little container that I can put in the freezer, and I take the ice cream and I go ahead and I put it right in there, and then I can go ahead and just seal that and pop it in the freezer for an hour or two, and it will harden off so that then I can scoop it. Well, you don't even have to be a die-hard coffee lover to love this. My husband doesn't drink coffee at all, and he still loved this ice cream. And the combination between the espresso and the semi-sweet chocolate is fantastic. Well, if you'd like to get the recipe for this espresso chip ice cream, just go to our website and visit the Sundays with Cindy show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.